Imagine a city cloaked in fear, where shadows held more than just darkness, but the chilling presence of a predator. For years, the streets of East Harlem whispered tales of a phantom, a monster who stalked teenage girls, leaving behind a trail of unspeakable horror. His reign of terror spanned nearly a decade, marked by brutal rapes and murders. That left families shattered and a community gripped by terror. But on one fateful day, February 19th, the hunt reached its climax, bringing an end to the nightmare that had haunted New York City. This is the story of Arohn Kee, the East Harlem Rapist, and the day justice finally began to close in. His criminal career began subtly, with acts of voyeurism and petty theft, hinting at the darker impulses that would soon consume him. Born and raised in East Harlem, Kee was known in his neighborhood, but few suspected the monstrous acts he would commit. His first known victim, 13-year-old Paola Illera, was abducted in January 1991, her young life brutally cut short. Her body, found by the East River, bore the hallmarks of a savage attack: rape, strangulation, and multiple stab wounds. Despite being questioned, Kee, then known by his mother's surname, Warford, was released. Due to a lack of concrete evidence, this early escape would embolden him, setting the stage for a terrifying escalation of violence. The years that followed saw a horrifying pattern emerge. In 1994, a 15-year-old girl was abducted at knife point, raped, and left with the chilling words of her assailant echoing in her ears: "You're lucky to be raped by such a handsome man." This chilling phrase would become a grim signature, repeated to other victims, highlighting Kee's disturbing narcissism. The investigation struggled, hampered by a lack of forensic technology at the time, and Kee's ability to evade suspicion. He was a ghost in his own neighborhood, blending in while committing unspeakable acts. September 1997 brought another tragedy. Johalis Castro, a 19-year-old, was raped and murdered in the basement of her apartment building. Her body was set ablaze, a desperate attempt by Kee to destroy evidence and prevent identification. The fire department discovered her remains, and once again, Kee was questioned. Phone records linked him to Castro, but his girlfriend provided an alibi, allowing him to walk free. The community's fear deepened, and a sense of helplessness began to settle in. As the perpetrator continued to elude capture, the pattern of violence continued into 1998. In April, another 13-year-old girl was raped, hearing the same chilling self-compliments from her attacker. Then, in June, Rasheeda Washington, an 18-year-old, became another victim. Living in the same complex as Paola Illera, she was raped and murdered, her life tragically cut short. The police were now actively searching for a serial offender, as complaints from East Harlem residents about connected crimes grew louder. The realization that a serial rapist and murderer was operating in their midst sent shockwaves through the community. The breakthrough came with 2 more rapes in September and November 1998. The consistent modus operandi and growing body of evidence finally allowed investigators to connect the dots. The New York City Police Department launched a massive campaign, plastering wanted posters across the city. An anonymous tip led them to a man known as Ace, who lived in Washington's apartment building. This Ace was identified as Arohn Kee. While direct evidence was still lacking for a DNA sample, police placed him under surveillance. His arrest for stealing a hard disk drive provided the opportunity they needed. Kee, a Jehovah's Witness, refused to provide DNA or fingerprints, citing religious reasons. However, a sample was discreetly collected from trash he discarded at the jail. In January 1999, DNA testing confirmed the link between Kee and the murders of Rasheeda Washington, Paola Illera, and Johalis Castro, as well as several rapes. The East Harlem Rapist finally had a name, but before he could be apprehended, Kee fled New York City, taking with him 16-year-old Angelique Stallings, a girl he had groomed. This sparked a multi-state manhunt across the East Coast. Kee and Stallings moved from hotel to hotel in Miami, desperately trying to evade capture. Then, On February 19, 1999, the chase came to an end. Miami police, acting on intelligence, stormed a hotel room. Angelique Stallings was rescued, and Arohn Kee was finally taken into custody. The fear that had gripped East Harlem for years began to dissipate. Kee was extradited back to New York, where he faced a barrage of charges, including murder, kidnapping, and rape. His trial in 2000 was a dramatic affair, with Kee maintaining his innocence despite overwhelming DNA evidence and victim testimonies. He even took the stand, ranting about being framed and discrediting the DNA evidence. On December 16, 2000, Arohn Kee was found guilty of all 3 murders and 3 rapes. His outburst in the courtroom, yelling "fuck all of y'all" as the verdict was read, cemented his image as an unrepentant killer. At his sentencing in January 2001, he received 3 consecutive terms of life imprisonment, ensuring he would never again terrorize the streets of New York. Even after his conviction, DNA testing continued to link him to other unsolved cases, further solidifying his monstrous legacy. The apprehension of Arohn Kee on February 19, 1999, marked a pivotal moment in the history of East Harlem. It brought an end to a terrifying chapter for a community that had lived under the shadow of a serial predator for far too long. The case also highlighted the growing importance of DNA evidence in solving complex criminal investigations, bringing justice to victims and their families. The story of Arohn Kee serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within society, but also of the relentless pursuit of justice that ultimately prevails. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime.